the banks of the Missouri River in northeast Nebraska is a landscape that celebrates God's beauty and grace. This is also the home of the Omaha and Winnebago Indian reservations. The two tribes find solace in these hills despite the desperate times within their communities. As the residents of these communities fight the demons of unemployment, substance abuse, gambling addiction, and domestic abuse, they look to the future for hope.
Drug abuse is still a major problem here, and with the use of meth is affecting our community like it's affecting everyone's community.
Substance abuse has a tendency to take root where there aren't many other options, where you don't see maybe the good things, or you don't see the things that might influence you to turn a different direction.
They've coined a term up here. It was the first time I've heard this, but some of the kids up here are known as bingo orphans. And unfortunate because their guardians, their parents are at the casino too many nights a week, and the kids are left alone.
Despite the harsh statistics, there is a beacon of hope on the Winnebago Reservation that serves both communities. Father Dave Korth of St. Augustine's Indian Mission in Winnebago is working with the community to find a long-term solution, starting with the community's youngest citizens.
The challenges I think that I see in the coming years for our people is going to be getting an education. Instead of having a broad vision right now, I think our tribe is, and I hate to say this as well, but I think our tribe is very myopic in a lot of ways. And so consequently, if they can get their children just to graduate, they think the job is done, and yet it isn't.
The mission of the mission is to basically, we're a K-8 grade school. We try to educate our kids, body, mind, and spirit, to be upstanding members of the community and to be future leaders, basically, of the Omaha and Winnebago people.
The staff and teachers at St. Augustine's Indian Mission treat every child as one of their own.
In fact, they kind of tease me about that because it's like, I don't know, a lot of other secretaries that are going to be sewing the kids' pants legs or sewing on a button or, picking up after them or getting after them, because I always tell the kids, don't make me use my mom voice. I love these kids. It's just fantastic, and I talk to them and try to tell them the things that I wish somebody told me when I was growing up,
The nurturing environment at St. Augustine's is evident to the people in the community.
The people who are here because they want to be, and that they have a real goal and a real mission to work with our Indian children. And so I think the children pick that up because the ones that I've seen do know, and they sometimes lord it over. I've been to some feasts with the tribal people, and I can see, and I'll say, where are you going to school? And she says, oh, my mom sends me to the mission meeting here.
In addition to the moral development, St. Augustine's holds very strict academic standards.
It's different because the teachers actually expect the students to do the work. And that's one of the things that's the hardest mindset to change here in the community, because people become accustomed to how they do things at the public school. Social promotion is their answer to everything, I use my own family as an example. My niece graduated from the public school here in town, and she can't read at a 5th grade level. And so, that's hurtful. That's crippling her for the rest of her life because social promotion was the menu for the day, You can't promote kids that don't know how to do the work. And that's what I really like about St. Augustine's too, is that they're not sacrificing their principles to satisfy the parents.
I've been told by community members that compared to the public schools on the reservation, our kids are typically 2 grade levels ahead.
Education will be the way in which we can save our Omaha-ness. and to save our cultures.
Purely from a selfish standpoint, because I run a tribal corporation, the students who come out of St. Augustine's are fantastic. They achieve at a higher level, they're more disciplined, they've got a stronger kind of ethic in some ways. Having top quality, morally grounded students is really a foundation, I think, for the rest of the community. It carries over to how you treat your fellow man, how you treat your loved one, your spouse in the future, how you treat your children. Creating a family atmosphere and creating a sense of family is probably pretty important to us going forward.
You're signing on for the long haul when you sign your kids up to go to school here, and when you read the parent handbook, then you know that they're not going to sacrifice their principles. And if they decide to take their students from school here, it's usually because they are asking, the teacher or the principal or even Father Dave to sacrifice their principles. And I'm so glad that they're strong enough people to be able to say, no, we're not going to do that. For the sake of your child, we're not willing to do that.
Our dreams aren't big enough yet, though. We still thinking, well, maybe I'll get a job at the casino doing something, and then I'll have a good time. Then I'll get a car. No one's thinking, all right, where am I going to go to college, and then what's my career choice going to be, and things like that. No one's talking about that because there's no history of that inside the families. There's no pressure to excel at that level.
Right now, I think we're sort of in a gray area. We know that we should achieve and go out and, first of all, finish high school, and then pursue a college degree, and then, surprisingly, not come home right away. Go out and practice. Make your mistakes in the big outside world, and then, when you've got a lot of experience and significant experience, come home and help the tribe.
What I'm hoping that happens 10 years from now is not only are those opportunities there, but our people are ready to grasp them, and that the parents are telling them to achieve that. Not that it's what they do now is say, it's okay, we'll take care of you, come back here, be like everybody else. Poverty is a mindset that's very hard to break out of. And we're doing what we can, but I still think there's a ways to go.
Because of the pressures within their community, the need to expand St. Augustine's to include high school education is evident.
They only go to 8th grade. And then St. Augustine's isn't there. There's other options, I think, in the cities and things like that. But so basically, what's interesting about St. Augs is that you get them to a point. You get them disciplined, you get them educated to a pretty high level. And then once they become teenagers, when their hormones going wild and their sense of self-esteem at stake and wanting to be cool, you turn them loose back into the system, the public education system here. You have these students who are finally honed to machines, and then all of a sudden things start going weird in their body and mentally, and then you put them in a system that doesn't incentivize achievement, and you have a real problem there. And the cultural pressure on top of the peer pressure, it adds an extra weight to the problem. And I don't know how we've gotten to the point where excelling is a negative, but and I don't know how to fix that. But I do know that it's not a problem in St. Augs.
Looking to the future, the dreams for St. Augustine's Indian Mission are unlimited.
As far as some of the possibilities for the future and dreaming what might come out of this, the sky really is the limit.
When asked, where do you go to school, these kids know that there is one answer.
Take these seeds.